Hello. Right. 2016 Mercedes A-Class ABS rear left sensor has packed up. It's throwing up an issue which is brake assist not available and one or two other things, and it throws a whole lot of lights on. So you get the engine management warning light, you get the ABS, you get the traction control, and then you get a message which says parking brake, see owner's manual, and all sorts of other things. Having had the fault codes read, and actually I've got a fault code reader which wouldn't read it, so I took it to a garage and they very kindly did a full reading, full diagnostic. That's Motoron Service Centre in Chorley. Free shout out to Ron there. And sure enough, ABS sensor. So if you fancy doing this yourself, it's not difficult to do. I'm just going to show you. I actually stripped a load of stuff off, but I'm going to go back to it and show you now exactly what we need to do that. So here I've got the wheel off at the moment. So look, first things first, safety. So jacket on the jacking point, which is under here. Axle stand there underneath. That's fine. This is the old ABS sensor which I've taken out, and it lives in here. So can you see these holes here? So this actually goes in. Now I'm doing this using the lens on the camera, which isn't that easy. In there, bolt in down there, undo the bolt, and use a load of penetrating oil on it, and then I just use a pair of pliers just to rotate, and that comes out. Now, cable goes over the top here. Let me just get a torch. Cable is routed over the top through this here. Let me just get that torch somewhere better. Hang on a sec. So let's do that on there. So the cable then comes through here, up through here, and then round the back of here, and behind this splash guard here. Now this is a bit of a nightmare. As you can see on this, it's full of mud and it's bloody horrible. So if you need to take this off, 10mm little plastic nuts. There's one. Now you've got one here, one here, one here, one here, one up. Hang on, I'm rotating. One here, which is over there. Now I've moved this down. One there, and one up here, somewhere up here. Once you've got those and you've undone them all, you can actually pull this down. If you pull it out, pull it down, this is also secured under there. Oh, and by the way, this has two bolts which go underneath here. Actually, if you take this down, it's very flexible, unlike the old plastic ones. It's more of a material. You'll see that you get mud and stuff in here. We can clear this out, and we will clean this out before we put it back, because obviously in years to come, this is where it's going to get rust. So just clean it out. Lots of seam sealer you can see there, but clear it out, make sure it's all nice. The cable comes along here. And then what's really cool about this is, on a lot of cars, you have to undo it somewhere else. Actually, on this, it's very, very simple. Undo it, unclip it, unclip it, unclip it, and it's this top one here. And it should, well, it will, but I can't do it with one hand. It'll unplug from in there. Now, I think there's a clip at the end. There is. So I suspect, yeah, looking at that, I need to get a screwdriver in that. There we go, push that clip and then probably pull. Now, I can't do it with without two hands. So that's a very, very brief introduction onto how to replace ABS sensor on a 2016 AMG or A-Class Merc. And while you're here, obviously, check condition of shock absorbers. You're looking for oil and so on. Check your brake pads, which are down here, and you're going to have a look in here to see, hang on, this is in the way, to have a look here and see how much pad material you've got left. Have a look at the disc, what's it like. Now, next time these pads are changed, this disc will change, because we've got a lip here. And now don't forget, if you're not sure what you need, if you can get a caliper, or a vernier caliper or a micrometer, but don't do it on the edge. You need to go down below that edge, and somewhere on that outside it says what the minimum thickness needs to be. So these will be up for replacing next time it's done. And then obviously when you've done the ABS sensor and plugged it in and so on and rerouted it, of course don't forget to reroute it in all the clips, then back in, put it in with the bolt. I tend to put a little bit of grease around the edge or at the end of it, just to make sure. And when I say around the end of it, I don't mean round the end here, I mean round this bit here, which is the bit that locates in the housing, because in another 5-6 years time, if it needs replacing again, last thing you want is this to have corroded in. So when you've done that, put everything back and make sure it's all clipped and secure, because obviously with this being suspension, it's going up and down and wobbling around. You don't want cables getting caught on anything. Yeah, I think the cable was about £35-40 or something like that, so not terrible. So hopefully that's helped.